He stood there, trembling, shoulders hunched, hands shaking, eyes soaked with grief. A legend, mourning another. When Bill Cosby stepped up to the podium at Malcolm-Jamal Warner's private funeral, no one in that packed room could have predicted what he was about to say. What came out of his mouth didn't just shake the room, it cracked open years of buried truth, pain, and secrets that the world was never meant to hear. But what did Cosby say that left even the strongest in the room in stunned silence? And why did those words trigger more than just tears? This isn't just a story about loss. It's about a father figure breaking down, a mystery surrounding Malcolm's death, and a revelation that could change how we remember one of TV's most beloved sons. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you won't look at Malcolm-Jamal Warner's final days the same way again. Before we dive deeper, hit that like button and subscribe. Each click helps keep the memory of legends alive. And trust me, this one's going to hit hard. A bond beyond the screen. When Malcolm-Jamal Warner first walked onto the set of The Cosby Show, he was just 14, a shy teenager cast to play Theo Huxtable. But to Bill Cosby, he was more than a talented actor. He was a blank slate, full of promise, and someone Cosby immediately saw as the son he never had. Their on-screen relationship may have captivated millions, but behind the scenes, the mentorship was even more profound. Cosby spent hours with Malcolm, teaching him about manhood, Hollywood, and the heavy crown that comes with fame as a young black man. They laughed, cried, and grew together for nearly a decade. The bond was real, so real that Malcolm once said, "Bill didn't just teach me how to act, he taught me how to be a man." But over time, that connection quietly began to fray. Distance, scandal, and silence. As Bill Cosby's life spiraled into legal chaos in the 2010s, Malcolm stayed mostly silent. Unlike other former castmates who jumped to defend or denounce Cosby, Malcolm chose distance. He didn't cut ties out of bitterness. He did it for survival. He'd worked hard to build a respected name in Hollywood, far removed from scandal. But insiders say the emotional bond between the two never truly disappeared. So when news broke earlier this year that Malcolm had been found dead, alone, face down in a lake near a secluded cabin, the world gasped. But Cosby? He collapsed. He reportedly repeated one chilling phrase over and over. "Not my Theo. Please, not my Theo." The funeral that shocked everyone. Held in a private cathedral in Los Angeles, the funeral drew former castmates, Hollywood elites, and lifelong friends. Cameras were banned. Security was tight. Grief hung heavy in the air. And then, without warning, Bill Cosby asked to speak. Escorted slowly to the front, frail and trembling, he stood before Malcolm's casket and began to speak in a voice choked with tears. "I knew him before he had his first beard. Before the world called him Theo, I called him my boy." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Cosby spoke of late-night talks on set, quiet moments of heartbreak, and Malcolm's quiet strength in the face of rejection. But then his tone shifted, and what came next dropped jaws. A haunting accusation. "This industry, it doesn't always protect the ones it should," Cosby said, eyes burning. There were people around Malcolm who let him down, pressures that wore him down, and now he's gone, not because he failed, but because they did. The room froze. Felicia Rashad reportedly dropped her head and clenched her fists. Was Cosby implying that Malcolm's death wasn't an accident? And then came the words that would ripple through every corner of Hollywood. "Theo, wherever you are, forgive us. We couldn't save you." Felicia Rashad speaks out. Days after the funeral, Felicia Rashad, who played Malcolm's on-screen mother, finally broke her silence in a private off-camera interview. And what she revealed sent chills down spines. "Malcolm called me a week before he passed," she said. "He was emotional. He said, "If anything happens to me, I just want you to know I love you, Mama." She thought it was just sentimentality. But then he told her he was being pressured. Old associates were reaching out, unfriendly ones he'd cut ties with years ago. He said, "They want me quiet, but I can't be silent anymore," Felicia revealed. What was Malcolm planning to expose? What secrets was he carrying? The strange details of his death. Malcolm had checked into a lakeside cabin retreat just outside Vancouver. Surveillance footage showed him arriving, unloading groceries, and sipping coffee alone by the dock the next morning. He appeared calm. By the following day, he was found dead in the water. Official cause? Accidental drowning. But here's where it gets strange. His phone showed outgoing calls at 11:03 p.m. to his publicist, someone labeled only as LL, and Felicia Rashad. None were returned. None were mentioned in the police report. The resort's dock cameras mysteriously stopped recording after 8 p.m. that night. Officials blamed a technical failure. And his cabin? It was locked from the inside. How did he end up outside without unlocking the door? The anonymous tip. 2 days after the funeral, a resort employee came forward, anonymously. She claimed a man in a black hoodie came asking for Malcolm that night. He didn't sign in. He was let through anyway. 10 minutes later, he was gone. Who was he? No one knows. And when independent journalists tried to follow up, resort staff were reportedly told to stay quiet. Was this just a coincidence? Or a cover-up? A love that never ended? As the crowd began to trickle out of the cathedral that day, one figure remained at the front. Karen Molina White, Malcolm's longtime ex-girlfriend. With trembling hands, she laid a hand on the casket and whispered, "You were the one. You've always been the one." Witnesses say she broke down, sobbing. "I thought we'd have more time. I thought we'd get another chance. I never stopped loving you, Malcolm." Her confession spread like wildfire. Within hours, old photos of the couple flooded social media. Later that evening, she posted a black and white photo of Malcolm with the caption, "You were my peace before the world got too loud. Rest easy, my love. A legacy that lives on." Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just Theo. He wasn't just a brilliant actor or a household name. He was a man who touched the lives of those closest to him with kindness, resilience, and truth. And now, questions remain. What was he about to reveal? Was his death truly an accident? Or something more? One thing is certain. His memory refuses to fade. Not in the hearts of those who knew him, not in the tears of the man who once called him "my son," and not in the whispers of a Hollywood secret that may never be fully uncovered. If this story moved you, drop a heart in the comments. Share your favorite Malcolm moment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories from behind the scenes. Each sub helps us shine a light on legends the world should never forget. Rest in power, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, 1970 to 2025. You were more than Theo. You were a son, a brother, a lover, and a friend, and you will never be forgotten.